Hey guys, today I want to talk about an article that was in the March 4th edition of theintercept.com written by John Schwartz called "If Trump Tower Was Wiretapped, Trump Can Declassify That Right Now." So this is interesting because Trump over this past weekend, was saying Obama wiretapped Trump Tower and Obama, it's like McCarthyism and all these crazy tweets that Trump, of course, was doing crazy tweets. What? Oh, Don. So what is interesting about this, and this goes to the thing where Trump doesn't understand what the job of the president is. He doesn't understand the Constitution. He doesn't understand anything. He's still acting like it's the campaign. He keeps having these like Trump rally. He keeps wanting it to be the campaign, talking about we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You're the president now. He doesn't understand any of this. Or he still thinks he can tweet and say crazy stuff because the Russian thing is not going away. He can declassify any investigations, and we'll go into what happened. There were the Obama White House called for investigations. Now that Trump is president, he can declassify classified information unless he doesn't want anyone to know, because once he declassifies it, then everything is out there. Everything that he's done, all of the information that was gathered during the election is now out in the open. So, but the thing that makes me believe he doesn't know what he's doing is several things. There was, the other day he was getting ready to fly back to, he goes down to Florida every weekend. And so there's a Marine One, the helicopter's there in the Rose Garden, and there's the press corps there, and ABC cameras showing Bannon yelling and screaming in the window, and Trump is there, and his chief of staff is in there, and all these people are reports coming out that Trump was like going, quote, ballistic. So I don't think they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So here's what this article goes into that was in The Intercept. So he can immediately make public any government records on such surveillance. So what's going on? So according to there was a report by the BBC citing unnamed sources, a joint government task force was formed in the spring of 2016 to look into an intelligence report from a foreign government that Russian money was somehow coming into the U.S. presidential race. In June, the Department of Justice, part of the task force, asked the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act Court, FISA, you're going to hear that again, for a warrant to intercept electronic communications by two Russian banks. Okay? According to the BBC report, the FISA turned the application down. The Justice Department then asked again in July with a more narrowly drawn request, which was again turned down. The Justice Department made a third request on October 15th, and finally it was granted. None of this, according to this article, which researched the BBC article, involves any wiretapping of Trump Tower. None of it. But what this article is supposing is that maybe Trump there was a Breitbart article that relied on a Heat Street piece that claimed the warrant was issued because of evidence links between a private server in Donald Trump's tower and a Russian bank. In fact, the server in question, set up by a marketing company hired by Trump, was physically located in Philadelphia. He's so corrupt and so in bed with the Russians. This Russian thing is not going away. It is not going away. And now, of course, the Democrats and the left it's funny, all of the things that Obama was saying we should get along with the Russians for, now the Democrats are saying, oh, Trump's evil, and we need to go after him because of this deal with the Democrats. But what that means is not so much that there's no merit to what these Russian allegations are. It just shows you how inept and flip-floppy the Democrats are. That's what that shows. But just because the Democrats are bringing it up and they have a track record of saying and doing whatever they need to, doesn't mean necessarily that all of these Russian allegations are meritless, because the Russian allegations are coming from all different places now. So, but this is the Democrats' problem. If they had more of a, they can't take the moral high ground. So Obama's spokesman responded to Trump's tweet saying that neither President Obama nor any White House official ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. Notably, the statement does not deny that someone in the Obama administration ordered surveillance of Trump Tower, simply that the White House did not, which isn't meaningful since it is a properly functioning executive, which isn't meaningful. I got to read this sentence again. Since in a properly functioning executive branch, the Justice Department would make that decision on its own without White House interference. So the article asked them, what does this mean? So the FISA court did allow surveillance of the Philadelphia server, and the Justice Department ultimately decided there was nothing to it. That's interesting. This article also says maybe the Justice Department did think there's something to it, and they're still investigating it. That's interesting. Or perhaps there were FISA court warrants, but for surveillance of people around Trump that had nothing to do with the Philadelphia server or the Russian bank. Or Trump never read the Breitbart article, but instead learned there was significant surveillance of Trump Tower in the way you'd expect a president would from a massive intelligence apparatus he commands. That's funny. Or perhaps simply Trump has gotten all of this wrong. The thing is, though, and this is what the article says, Trump has the power to clarify it. And everything else about the Russian story right now, by declassifying whatever surveillance records exist of contacts between people in his orbit and Russia. If he and his associates did nothing wrong, he has every incentive to do it as much as possible. That's what this article claims. This is a fantastic piece because Trump, I said this all along, I wasn't alone in this, but because Trump clearly had no idea what he was doing. He's going to break the law some way because he doesn't even realize he's breaking the law. He's so used to just being a CEO and doing whatever he wants, and he doesn't understand the Constitution and the three branches of government. He doesn't understand any of that. So he's either going to, he can't, here's the thing, he's claiming wiretap and everyone's out to get me. You're the president now. Like, you have a lot of power. So this is something to pay close attention to because this isn't going away. And the fact that he's blowing up at his staff, he's blowing up at Bannon and his chief of staff, this is significant. And there was even an article that I read that even the Russians are starting to sour on him. So it feels like it's falling apart, but I don't know, which is why I get scared, because when these types of guys feel like they're backed into a corner, this is why I'm worried. I feel like there's going to be some type of attack and President Trump is going to have to come in and save us from whatever enemy is out there attacking. Pay close attention to the Russian thing because there's so much more going on than we know. Thanks for paying attention. Like this. Hit the subscribe button. There also is a Patreon link down there. You become a Patreon subscriber and you get to do cool things like suggest articles for me to do, or I'm going to do exclusive videos just for Patreon supporters. So click the link below. I also have some tour dates coming up. I'm doing stand-up comedy in Appleton, Wisconsin, March 17th and 18th. And I'm going through the island of Oahu and Hawaii, the Big Island, March 22nd through the 25th. And some other shows coming up. March 9th, I'm at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. So check all those out, guys. And of course, you can get all this information at grahamelwood.com. I'll put a link to the article down there too. Thank you guys so much.